Hi, I'm Anthony DiCarlo, Interim Superintendent of Schools, and we have our next installation of Superintendent's Corner. I'm here with our Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Eric Stark. Eric, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be back.
We are coming upon that time of the year. The next several months, we'll be discussing the budget, and it's really complex. We are formulating a budget that is a budget for all the students at East Ramapo. That's public and non-public, specifically when we talk about transportation and special education.
As you said, it is a very complex process, and we've actually been working on it for quite some time. The process begins in November. We begin the work with all of our administrators and principals on having conversations about the general parameters and how we're going to look at the budget. So essentially, we have not one, but two budgets in a school district. We have a revenue budget and we have an expenditure budget, and they have to be equal. The revenue budget is primarily made up of your tax revenue from the tax levy and the revenues that you receive from the state in the form of state aid. The expenditure budget, on the other hand, has many more categories, but our budget here in East Ramapo is so unique because of the large population of non-public students that we have. So in most districts, your salaries and benefits make up approximately 85% of your budget. But because we have such a large transportation budget, in our case, that's probably closer to 65-70% because our transportation budget is so large. So it's important for the voting public to understand that when we're putting out a tax levy that may have an increase in it, that it is supporting a lot of the things that are going to not only the public school students, but also the non-public students.
So basically, many, many years ago, a formula was developed in which districts are supposed to get X amount of dollars to go towards helping to, of course, facilitate the best possible education students can get. East Ramapo never got its full share of those monies. And we are talking about, Eric, tens of millions of dollars. So now the governor asked for a report to be done, and we don't want to be shortchanged. We need those monies. So I really implore the public to go out and write letters, to call your local officials, to talk about how important the full funding of foundation aid is to East Ramapo, because it's an important piece to what we can possibly do with those extra monies.
Absolutely. When you talk about especially transportation and special education, currently those departments are understaffed because of lack of funding in the budgets over several years of 0% tax levy increases. We get lots of complaints from people about long response times, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that those areas are very understaffed.
When we're looking at budget lines, why those lines are what they are and what goes into those lines, right?
What we're doing this year is we are going back to zero, and we're doing a zero-based budget, which means we're not taking last year's number and then building on it. We're going in and asking all of our directors and supervisors and principals to look at everything that they do and say, what exactly is it that you need in order to run your department or school?
I just came back from a town hall at Spring Valley High School, and the students' voices were really clear, and they specifically talked about honors classes, and they specifically talked about electives. So in the story that we're going to tell this year, there will be some real staffing additions that we like to see that really will help our kids to be far more competitive when it comes to graduating and going into the job market, as well as going to competitive colleges.
Yeah, and that's really the most important thing, because why are we all here in education? We are here because we want to serve children.
The budget is a journey. So can you tell the public a little bit about what that time frame looks like?
We're going to start making presentations to the board in January. And then as we get more and more information from the state of New York, we'll be able to put together our revenue budget. Then we know exactly where our expenditure budget has to come in. And in early March, we have to send a draft of our budget up to Commissioner Rosa. In early April, we will ask the board to adopt the budget and put that budget up to vote in May.
I thank you for all your insights and taking us through what that budget process will look like for this school year. Just a quick reminder, that important date, mark your calendars, is May 20th. On that date, we'll be voting for our budget as well as voting for board trustees. So I want to thank you, Eric, for your thoughts and your insights. Thank you, the community, for listening. And once again, I wish you a very happy new year.